The Oklahoma City Thunder just swept the New Orleans Pelicans to make it to the second round of the Western Conference playoffs as the defense held them to under 90 points tonight in this huge Game 4 victory for the Thunder. It's Bryson Akins here with another video on Thunder Digest. Before we get into all this though, I just want to bring this up real quick. 91% of you guys coming back and watching the videos are not subscribed to the channel. If you find yourself coming back anyways and watching more videos, the best way to support and find my videos is to hit the subscribe button, as my videos will pop up on your For You page when you log on to YouTube. And so I'm trying to hit 350 subs by the end of the month. I know we got one more day left, but you guys have been crushing all the other goals that I set for you on the sub counter, and I think we can crush that goal as well tomorrow. But now we'll go ahead and get into it. This little recap of the series, and mainly this game as well, as it's kind of the same stuff that we've talked about in other post-game recaps in this series. And the first thing, of course, tonight we're going to talk about is the defense. As you guys know it, the Dorture chamber was in full effect tonight, as the defense just looked phenomenal. I gotta say, I must say, Lu Dort was the MVP of the series. I have to say that. I have to go ahead and get that off my chest. He was the MVP of this series because without his defense, this might be either a 3-1 series right now or a 2-2 series. Just gotta point that out there. This is a completely different series. We're going back to OKC after this game, and we have to try to win one or two more. And it's a different series without his defense out there. As you can see here, we beat this week's one seed of all time in the first round, as we were one of only two teams to complete a 4-0 sweep, and we held the Pelicans to 92, 92, 85, and 89 points, all in that order. They didn't get above 92 points at all. They averaged only 89.5 points in this series as a team, and you can't win a lot of games like that, and that just shows how well we play defensively in this series, as New Orleans is usually a team that gets 100 plus in a game in the regular season. And you also have to look at the stat line as well to really show how well of defense we play. First, you're going to notice this ugly number at the top from Brandon Ingram. All right, 2 of 14 from the field, 8 points. Lu Dorts was on a majority of the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later too, in a few minutes after this real quick. But then you also look at some other guys. Jones with 11 points, 4 of 11 from the field. The only two good spots, or you could say good spots, were Valanciunas and CJ McCollum, who had 19 and 20. Even then, it wasn't very efficient, as Valanciunas went 6 of 15 and McCollum went 9 of 16. That was more efficient than anyone else on that team. It wasn't a bad night at all for McCollum. But it's just the fact he couldn't knock down any three-point shots. He went 2 of 7 from the field there. Murphy, 3 of 10 with 7 points. The only bright side that they had was on the bench with Marshall, who had 16 points and 5 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the arc. Then you look at the team shooting numbers, and that just looks even worse for the Pelicans and shows how well we play tonight on defense against them. 37.6% from the field as a team, 23.5% from behind the arc, and 85% from the line. And so when you look at all those rebound numbers, assists, steals, blocks, you look at all those numbers, and that 18 turnovers in this game isn't a pretty number either for them, but you look at all those other numbers, and you think, man, without looking at the shooting numbers, you would have thought this team would have won or kept it closer. It would have went to overtime or something, but no. They just shot that badly that we were able to come away with the victory even when we were having an off shooting night. That just shows how good this defense is, and we're able to stop a team that has multiple weapons like New Orleans and CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, and we're able to hold our own down low with Chet Holmgren going up against Jonas Valanciunas, who is one of the bigger centers in the league when you go by, like weight and strength. We look like we're going to do well. And when you look at it as well from the standpoint of Lu Dort on Brandon Ingram, Lu Dort was able to lock down Brandon Ingram to these stats right here. 8 points in game 1. Or no, this was game 2. I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong. Game 1, 12 points, 5 of 17. Game 2, 18 points, 5 of 10 from the field. He had a better night, but he was afraid to shoot the ball. He only took 10 shots that game. The third game, he had 19 points, 7 of 14, with 50%, but once again, holding him down low. And then finally, the last game, 8 points. It shows 2 of 13, but he went 2 of 14 tonight on ESPN. And so that just shows Lu Dort is able to lock down your number one scoring option like that, bring his scoring numbers down by 10 points. I think we'll be fine when we take on either the Mavericks or Clippers in the next round because of that. He plays defense so well. He's physical, which is what you need in the playoffs. And that is the reason we got past this first round and was able to get the sweep tonight against the Pelicans. And then there's also another reason that really stood out to me in this game, and that has to be that we were going lights out in the fourth quarter, specifically from two players tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up in a second the box score, not the box score, but the scoring numbers from each quarter. And we're going to look at that right now. First quarter, tied up 21-21. Then we took the second quarter, 23-22. Then we found ourselves down by one going in the fourth quarter, as New Orleans scored more than us. And then in the fourth quarter, we really turned it on, dropping 27 points and holding them to 18. And you got to be thinking, oh, surely SGA was doing what he does and driving in, getting tough buckets or getting the line and making free throws. He went 3 of 4 in a series of free throws, or he missed 3 of 4 of his free throws in a series there for a minute. And in a minute, he missed 3 of 4 of his free throws. And so he wasn't having a great night at all. So what happened? It decided to fall onto 2 of our other guys to kind of carry us in the fourth quarter. First guy right here. This is Josh Giddey's fourth quarter stat line. In 11 minutes, he had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and a block, and shot 75% from the field. And all of his shots were 3-point shots, and he made 3 of 4 of them. That was impressive. No turnovers either, only 1 foul. And so he's playing well, and he really turned it on in the fourth quarter. And there were shots I was seeing him take that defenders were closing out on him, and he wasn't afraid to shoot it. He has confidence again in his shot. He's not afraid to take any closing out shots that defenders have on him. He's not afraid to take the last shot when the shot clock's winding down. He's no longer trying to pass it away. He's finally shooting the ball again, and he looks like he's shooting it well. He's shooting the ball at a very efficient rate, and that's what we needed from him, and he really turned it on in the fourth quarter. Another player, though, that really turned it on in the fourth quarter, who was also one of my MVPs for this game, J-Dub right here. He played the entirety of the fourth quarter, had 11 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. A big-time steal, by the way. He went 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 70.9 true shooting percentage. When you look at that, and he also had an offensive rebound that was kind of clutch. He wasn't able to put the put-back away on that. Chet Holmgren followed up on it. But J-Dub also played well in this fourth quarter. And a lot of our guys played well in the fourth quarter. Don't get me wrong. We had a bunch of guys ball out in the fourth quarter and really hold it down, especially defensively with Chet and Lu Dort doing what they do. But offensively, it was J-Dub and Josh Giddey holding it down. As you saw there, they combined for 20 of the team's 27 points in the fourth quarter. And that's what we needed them from. We needed to prove that SGA is not going to be this guy that carries us in the fourth quarter, especially when we go into tougher competition now in the second round. We needed to show that we have other guys that can pick up the slack when he's not shooting well and when we're not shooting well as a team. And that's exactly what we proved tonight. And also in game one, if you remember, because game one, the team didn't shoot all that well, but we had guys go off in the fourth quarter to get us the victory. And it was SGA that night, and all our other guys were cold. Tonight, SGA was cold, and so it fell on to J-Dub and Giddey to hold it down and get it going for us on the offensive side of the ball. And that's it. That's one of the reasons we're going to be dangerous no matter who we play. Because we're going to be physical on defense and force you to take bad shots. And then also on offense, we're going to take shots that we know we can make, and we can get hot quickly with any of our guys, as Josh Giddey proved that, going 3 of 4 from behind the arc in the fourth quarter alone, contributing for 9 of the team's 27 points in the fourth quarter, and then Dub contributing for 11 of the team's 27 points in the fourth quarter. So when we get a guy going, we know to keep on going back to him. The good thing is we don't only have one guy going at once. We have 3 guys, two guys, maybe even 3, hot and on fire at the same time, which makes us a deadly team for whoever we play in the second round, whether it be the Mavs or Clippers. However, I do think we win that series as well, and then we go on and take Minnesota or Denver in the Western Conference Finals. That's all I got for this video. Once again, like I mentioned, if you guys keep on coming back and watching these videos, or you stay to the end, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 350 followers by the end of the month. One more day. Let's crush that goal, and I'll see you guys in the next video.